Welcome to another loud Cuban, highly questionable. This is Jorge Sedano. What do you like on the show today, George?
Strangely enough, I may have to agree with Gettleman.
No, dale, papi.
Does the flopping beard have a real reason to be upset with the officiating?
Look, he used to call him the running beard. That didn't catch on for 4 years of trying to make it catch on. And now it is the flopping beard. Let's watch the flopping beard flop here. There are 4 different shots where, because he plays this way, a lot of contact around the feet. Mike D'Antoni said there were 20 missed calls. This coming after the Rockets have complained to the league that last year they cost them 93 points in missed calls during that series. What I find most interesting about this, Jorge, though, isn't the foul calls. Those are going to go on throughout the series. That's not going to be the margin of error. I love the way the Warriors are attacking James Harden and have been since last season. They are going at him with Iguodala, with Draymond Green, trying to tire him out early on defense with their not best offensive players, because by the fourth quarter, they want the shot to be that flat. They want the legs to be that gone. Those three-pointers didn't look like they were coming from an MVP.
Well, the interesting part about it is that, as you pointed out, last year, this is about the way that series went last season. 93 points was the issue with them. They had this kind of report where it said that they gave up all these points and these opportunities for them to score. But the funny thing is, I've done 5 Rockets games this year, and the one thing that they always harp on, that team, is that the veteran officials, Dan, they don't give James Harden the benefit of the doubt. So that is the biggest point of contention, where they feel the younger guys are calling it by the book. The older guys are taking more leeway in those situations.
You can have a situation where everybody's right. James Harden is asking for a fairer called game, and yet if you're looking at him and saying, look, how many calls do you want? You're all elbows and shoulders and knees. You're always looking for contact in a way that's not aesthetically pleasing. You're always flopping to the ground that makes your legs tired in the fourth quarter because you have to keep getting up from all your flopping. He gets a lot of calls. They miss a lot of calls. He's playing a style of basketball where he's just careening toward the basket and illegally stepping back 2 steps at a time because they're allowing him the room to do that.
Did you hear what the flopping beard said after the game?
What did he say?
Tears in the beard.
Can the Greek freak write off the Bucks loss to the Celtics as one bad game?
I feel like we all can, but holy bleep, were we all surprised by that. None of us had the Celtics going in there, winning by 22, and furthermore, making this guy look mortal when he hasn't looked mortal all season. This is simple math for Milwaukee. He will rebound because the last time he had a game like this, the next game he had 45. He's great at what he does, and there is no stopping him the way there is no stopping Kevin Durant on a consistent basis. But if he is not the MVP of the league in this series, they will lose this series. He needs to be great. 7 for 21 will lose them the game every time against this team.
This is where coaching matters in the postseason, and Brad Stevens had a perfect game plan. But by the way, it's not a game plan that we haven't seen before. Greg Popovich used to do this to LeBron James all the time. Pack the paint, shade him with multiple guys, make sure he had to shoot over the defense, and that's really the only opportunity you have to try to defend Giannis. But here's the thing, Mike Budenholzer, he doesn't believe that his team, the guys around Giannis, will shoot that poorly night in and night out. Over a 7-game series, he believes that those guys will hit the shots that are there for them.
This isn't right, man. This is bad news, you know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Bill.
Why is that?
Bill Simmons,
That's right.
You won't be able to talk to this guy if the Celtics they keep on playing this way, and they go all the way to the finals, you know what I mean? His head will go swallow.
Okay, it will go swallow.
That's right.
It will. Totally swallow.
Yeah.
Is Kawhi Leonard said? If Kawhi Leonard said interesting things, what would he be right saying? Wait a second. Is Kawhi Leonard said interesting thing? What would he be saying right now?
All right, let's just leave all 3 of those in and have some fun, because Kawhi Leonard doesn't say anything in his sideline interviews. They only gave him 1 question yesterday, and it was more than enough. But he is an unholy terror on both sides of the court. He just made Toronto not feel like Toronto in the playoffs, because if he were talking to you, he would say, hey, when I play for Toronto, we're 4-0 against the Sixers. I'm the only guy in the league that during the finals, LeBron James looked over his shoulder and said, oh no, that guy's coming back in while at the free throw line. This guy is a superstar headed into valuable free agency. And yesterday, he showed you why. There are only 5 guys in the league who could do what he did yesterday.
Basically, if I were Kawhi Leonard, because I wouldn't be as quiet as he is, I would absolutely be saying that I'm arguably the best player in the NBA right now. Because, yes, Kevin Durant is a phenom on the offensive end, but Kawhi Leonard does this thing on the defensive end, too. So look at the type of shots he was hitting. I mean, he was literally unguardable in that game against the Sixers. And whether it was Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris, he combined for 10 of 11 against those guys. This series may be a much shorter series than we anticipated.
The other thing he'd be saying to Jimmy Butler is, hey, Jimmy Butler, you're Kawhi light. You're not as good as me. Not a lot of guys can say that.
Diet Kawhi.
I think that his smile said it all.
Does he smile?
Oh, yeah.
Those work. No, he doesn't smile. Oh, that is a smile. The muscles in his face work. They have not atrophied. They are creaking and groaning to a start. It's like an old engine that hasn't been turned on in 100 years.
We have to do it in slow motion to make sure it works.
Giants GM Dave Gettleman, right? That there is no room for civil discourse in our society.
Okay, this is going macro here. He did an interview where he gave his resume, and he said, among other things, that he knew for a fact that 2 more teams were going to draft before 17 Daniel Jones. And I know for a fact that David Gettleman doesn't know what a fact is, because he couldn't possibly know that that was a certainty. Regardless of that, he's showing you his resume in all of its flowery bloom when he's telling you, I've built 7 Super Bowl champions. A obvious rule in any front office you look to is if a guy is telling you about his resume, it's because he's defensive that you don't know his resume. He's being questioned now in a way he never has been questioned, and all of it's been earned, unlike his arrogance.
While I agree with everything you just said, I do like the fact that Gettleman wants this utopian type society, right? Like of course we should have civil discourse. Who can disagree with that? That's like trying to say save the whales, okay, Levitard? No, everyone wants to save the whales. But here's the thing. We criticize these GMs in all sports, really, for not having conviction. So you know what? He believed in Daniel Jones. I don't necessarily believe in Daniel Jones, but you know what? He does. And if that's the case, his job is going to ride on it. So go ahead, Gettleman. You like him, take him whatever you want.
I think Gettleman is clamoring here for civil discourse because it will eliminate the 4 to 6 hour Eastern on ESPN where everyone is criticizing him uncivilly for what he's done.
Can I say something to Dave?
Yes, sure.
Hey, Dave, I think that you're a great guy, man. I think that you had a hell of a draft, you know. I think that you got a great pick, you know. Don't listen to your critics at all, you know what I mean? Just stay the course and you'll be a winner. I'm only kidding. I think that you're going to get fired soon. What do you think of Josh Rosen's comments after he got ripped by Steve Smith?
I think that the MMQB is doing the job that ESPN should be doing, but is too busy with the draft to do. Steve Smith is ripping Rosen in a way that demanded response. Listen to what he had to say.
So now you're mad because they brought some competition in here, so you're going to try to take your ball? Well, first of all, son, it ain't your damn ball to take anyway. So you just keep playing with your phone, and you keep showing us what the stigma of you and who you were was at UCLA. Now you brought it to the professional level to show us you're still going to, when things don't go your way, you're going to cry in the corner. But guess what? They're going to ship your home somewhere else, and you can go cry and be their problem. Listen, This is a man's game. Be a man and go against that man one-on-one. He gets 10 plays, you get 10 plays. Do your deal. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. Only thing you can get on this stage right now is a free whoop, and everything else you got to work hard for. You know why he won't be on the roster? Because he ain't got enough heart to be on that roster. He got to go out there and work his ass off. He don't want to work. He wants something given to him.
Man, that was a blowtorch, an unnecessary blowtorch. Josh Rosen could remind everyone, I might be a bad teammate, even though he's not, but I never punched 2 teammates in the face the way that Steve Smith did. Josh Rosen's quotes to the MMQB were very strong, and they had perspective. And he said in his press conference today that the reason that he gets the character stuff is because he once dared to say that football wasn't the only thing for him, that he didn't need football, and that's the reason he's gotten the character smear. The Dolphins got a bar bargain here. They got a top 10 talent from last year at the quarterback position who played for a very bad team last year, and it smeared his resume, but that's still a top 10 talent, and they made a good trade for him.
Steve Smith made great television, but it was terrible analysis, okay? If you talk to any of the teammates of Josh Rosen in Arizona, they all actually really liked him. And by the way, you're right, Dan, he played a ton of games where he had no offensive line. They were the worst offensive line in football. 2 starters were rookies, okay? They lost all 5 starters. 2 starters were rookies. 3 guys literally off the street came in and tried to protect him. So to sit here and blame Josh Rosen and just continue this nonsense and this narrative that he's not coachable, that he's not a good guy, how about talk to the people that actually played with him and then find out? That's actual analysis, not just good TV.
There is only one way this argument can be settled.
Uh-oh.
In the octagon.
In the octagon.
Stephen Smith against Josh Rosen.
I'm
That'd be
thinking
a
that
hell of a-
wouldn't go so
that
well
wouldn't
for
go so well
Rosen,
for
right? That wouldn't go so
absolutely.
well.
I got my money
probably.
on Rosen, no?
Okay, you'd lose your money.
Yeah. Coming up next on Highly Questionable,
Does he get left-handed?
and that things that would have been hiding in the crypt during the Battle of Winterfell. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them.
We don't need any off-camera laughing, thanks.
Do you question if DK Metcalf would have done this differently if he knew what was going to happen next?
Okay, a scout dared him to go into Coach Pete Carroll's office, looking every bit the specimen that we all discovered at the Combine when he's got muscles on top of muscles. Evidently, he doesn't cut so well, but he's very fast from one place to the other, and it looks like bricks are built all over his body. So he comes into the room, and this is what happened.
Damn right. Wow, man. I would take my shirt off, too. What's up, man? How you doing? You all right? You don't have to listen to him, man.
Here we go. This is the plot twist right there. Pete Carroll looking pretty good, man. That guy's in his 60s.
Make sure you get that on film.
Hey, Pete, I got news for you. That's not the way you take your shirt off.
Oh, here we go.
You want to see how
here
you
we
have
go.
to take your shirt off?
This
This
is
is the way
right
you take
here.
your
You
shirt
give
off.
it to
That's the
them.
way. That's the way you take it off. You take it all off. You know what I mean? You
There.
take it all off. All off. That's right. That's right. That's the way you take it all off. You let it all hang out.
What's right? What's right?
Do you question which former Colt deserved more booze?
This was fun in Nashville. 600,000 people gathered, and the Colts and the Titans, some might say, although I don't think anyone at this table, they have a bit of a rivalry. It's not much. It would only be a bit if they have that much. But here's Reggie Wayne going after him pretty good.
Putting all y'all AFC South teams on notice.
Oh boy.
We back.
Look out.
We are back. I know
Uh-oh.
you're not born.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Tennessee. Y'all done played the Coast 20 times in 10 years, and you done won 3 games.
Oh my word.
Stop it.
Oh
Listen.
my word.
It's a killer stat, but Pat McAfee somehow did even better with this. The former punter, he's got a good mouth on him. Listen.
Hello, Nashville. I'm not going to say a single word about the Tennessee Titans record against the Indianapolis Colts because I was a punter, and there's no reason for me to talk about that. With that being said, we did not punt much against the Tennessee Titans, so you probably have no clue who I am to begin. With that being said, the Indianapolis Colts are the hottest team, not only in the AFC South, but the entire NFL. A young nucleus surrounding the Stanford nerd, Andrew Luck. The Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard select future Hall of Famer, linebacker from Stanford, Bobby Okereke.
All right, so as much as I would love to vote for my guy Reggie Wayne from Miami, the self-deprecating humor of Pat McAfee definitely takes it. But I will question this. 600,000 people came to watch that thing? I mean, does anyone in Nashville have a life? Like, seriously? There's like a sea of people back there. Who's seeing what back there?
You know how hard it is to do the wrestling heel thing without a hiccup of imperfection and then hit the dismount with, "Oh, Kariki! Oh, Kariki!" Just shouting it in your face in a haunting way. The least menacing name in the history of football.
Well, sometimes that doesn't go so well.
Uh-oh.
With the 79th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Darius Stewart.
Oh.
But that's part par the course for that franchise, isn't it, though? Let's be real here.
Do you question if Tim Anderson will ever abide by baseball unwritten rules?
He's been playing very well this season, and he is something to be dealt with personality-wise in this sport that can be kind of starch, because when he does this bat flip and he does that to the catcher, you know what happens the next night. This happens, of course. He ended up getting suspended for a game for racially explosive language during that. What happened more recently here? Bottom of the ninth.
Average through 23 games.
Yeah, that's the sound. That is correct. He's going to enjoy this, right? Yeah.
And it's a game winner.
I mean, you're allowed to do what you want, right, George, on a game winner? A game winner, you could do handstands and somersaults.
Yeah, cartwheel all the way around the bases. I mean, just do it, crawl, however you'd like to do it. Just feel free to do it. He's kind of the hero we don't deserve, but we need in baseball right now.
That's not a bat flip. This is a bat flip.
Are we going to Korea?
That's right.
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Now that ball landed in the United States. It was a little foul. Is my geography any good there? I have the ball hooking all the way around the earth and arriving over here in Palm Springs.
Korean Babe Ruth. He's a little pudgy there, that guy.
Do you question if Clayton Thurston's brother played this off well?
Northwestern's quarterback was drafted in the mid-rounds. Let's see where his brother is here. What's happening when he gets drafted? Oh, does he get left hanging by the star draft pick? Yeah, he's going to get left hanging. Oh! Yeah. Oh!
It's your brother, man!
Oh!
For the love of God!
Oh! She really snuck in there and took what was his, didn't she?
And then he was okay with that one. And now it's like, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Well, I hope he throws better than this guy from Northwestern.
What guy? Wilbon? Wilbon! Wilbon's in the house! Yes, there it is!
Oh, my God.
That is the official 1 millionth time that we have shown that clip on the show. That's Jeff Samardzija, who played for the Cubs last in 1982.
Oh yeah, round of applause.
From the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that really thinks episode 1 had the best lifesaver duel. See or no?
What were you trying to say there?
Wait a second. Lifesaver duel. Wait a second. Let me get my words.
You tell us what to watch on television tonight. Lightsaber duels is what he was trying to say.
On Fox Sports Southeast, Padres and Braves.
Oh, man. Fernando Tatis Jr. is the son of a major leaguer that I remember, and there are more sons running around the major leagues now that make me feel so old. What's Tatis Jr. doing?
Robles gets it on the ground to deaden it. Throw to second. Safe.
Ouch. Oh, ow.
He pulled something.
Good God. Now, that is a pulled hamstring. I don't know. Oh!
There may not be a Fernando Tatis III.
Tanano, are you intrigued?
CC, I'm intrigued. Not only because hopefully we can see Fernando Tatis Jr., but Manny Machado is on the Padres, a Dominican kid from Hialeah, where I grew up.
There you go. How about you, Poppy? Are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, he must have been watching Harrison Bones. You know what I mean?
Harrison Bones?
Barnes.
Harrison Bones. What happens to Harrison's bones?
Oh!
Ah! I'm so sorry. Harrison Bones.
Tonight on TLC, 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After.
Okay, what's this about? Let's see.
About a week ago, we argued, and Larissa ran to the bathroom and flushed the wedding ring down the toilet. When I heard the flush of the toilet, it broke my heart.
Did you see her flush it?
Yeah.
Colt spent a lot of money on those rings. That was part of his love to her, and she flushed them down the toilet. I don't think either one of you need to be married to each other. I think your relationship stinks.
It's Straight talk. She's not messing around. Sedano, are you intrigued? I held up the wrong card. Sedano, are you intrigued?
CC, I love Mom there. Mom gives
Mom's
it to you,
the
man.
star.
She is blunt. I'm in on Mom for
I
sure.
know someone like that. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, but don't give up. When she flushes those strings down the toilet, you go down the sewer line and you
get
go for
those
those
pipes,
toilets.
you
You know?
get those
That's a lot of
tools out,
money
you-
there.
you
Don't
get
listen
that
to the
ring
old
back.
lady. Go down
Yes.
there. That's what you gotta do.
listen
That's
to
it.
the
Don't
old
worry
lady.
about the smell. Just at the end of the tunnel, you're going to find those rings,
yes,
buddy. I'm
gold
telling
will be
you.
there. You will strike gold.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
You were just saying to yourself, I feel like the world needs another podcast. Thankfully, Sedano has made one. Sedano Show Podcast. It's creatively named. Check it out.